Today we examine a hidden domestic nightmare. You'll see how smiles and small talk veil a shattering reality in one home. The focus is their breakfast table, with its off-time clock signaling the buried incident. Something unforgivable lingers there, unspoken. Let's begin. The kitchen clock ticks unevenly, its second hand stuttering like a heartbeat caught in hesitation. The one Ethan promised to fix months ago, back when promises still held weight. I watch it from the counter, where steam rises from the coffee pot in lazy curls, mirroring the fog in my chest. Breakfast is sacred, or so we've convinced ourselves. Pancakes sizzling on the griddle, Ethan's folded newspaper, Maya's half-hearted scroll through her phone. I flip the batter with mechanical precision, the spatula scraping like a whisper against the pan. One wrong flip, one tremor in my hand, and the whole charade could crack. Anxiety coils tighter as Ethan shuffles in. His tie already knotted too precisely, eyes skimming the room without landing on me. "Smells good," he says, voice neutral as the weather report. I nod, forcing a smile that pulls at my cheeks like an ill-fitting mask. Good. Keep it light. The truth lurks at the edge of my tongue, a phantom itch begging to spill over the syrup and fruit. But I swallow it down, pour his coffee black just how he likes. Across the table, Maya slumps into her chair, earbuds dangling, her gaze flicking between us like she's tuning into static. "Pass the juice?" she mumbles. And I do, my fingers brushing the cool glass, steady despite the storm inside. The clock chimes 7, but it's off by 2 minutes, frozen in that perpetual, almost time, a relic from the day everything shifted. I stare at it, pulse quickening. Will it betray me today, this broken sentinel? No. I turn back to the stove, plating the food with deliberate care, each stack a barrier against the unraveling. Ethan's fork clinks against porcelain, Maya's chair scrapes as she shifts. We eat in companionable silence, the facade holding like brittle glass. My heart races, a wild thing caged. But then it steadies, subdued, resolute. This is how we survive. Smiles sealing the seams, truth tucked away like yesterday's secrets. Is a smile enough to blind us all? The clock doesn't answer, just stutters on. Later that weekend, the arcade buzzes with electronic pings and the squeal of delighted kids. But I sit on the edge of it all, my hands folded in my lap like a prop in this scripted outing. Ethan leans over the air hockey table, his laugh a touch too loud as he coaches Maya on her shots. "See? Angle it like this. Next time, we'll hit the big one in the city. Father's Day special, right?" His eyes flick to me for agreement, but I nod without words, the truth lodged in my throat like a swallowed coin. Maya's ponytail swings as she slams the puck, scoring with a triumphant whoop. She's 14 going on perceptive, her glances darting between us, quick, assessing. "Mom, you in? We could make it a tradition, like every summer." Her voice carries that hopeful lilt, the one that twists the knife. I force a smile, murmuring, "Sounds perfect," but inside, anxiety coils tighter, a live wire humming under my skin. The affair's ghost hovers, unbidden. That hotel receipt tucked away, the lover's number still in my phone. One slip, one unguarded word, and this fragile tableau shatters. Ethan straightens, wiping sweat from his brow, oblivious or willfully blind. "Evelyn. Earth to Evelyn." He chuckles, but there's a pause, a beat where the arcade's clamor fades, leaving only the echo of our silence. Maya notices too. Her shot falters, the puck skittering harmlessly. She tilts her head, eyes narrowing. "Mom, you okay? You look tired." I am tired. Bone deep, the anxiety ebbing into a dull, subdued fatigue that weighs my limbs. My phone vibrates in my pocket. Another unanswered voicemail, probably from Lena, checking in with that quiet knowing. I ignore it, as always, letting the notification glow unread like a secret flare. It mocks me, this digital tether to the truth I can't face. How many more of these? How long until the pauses stretch into chasms? We move to the next game, plans spilling out, trips, milestones, a future sketched in neon lights. I observe from the sidelines, my role reduced to nods and half smiles, the internal storm raging unseen. Silence was supposed to shield us, but now it carves deeper, feeding the fissures I can't mend. Can it hold us together? Or are we already drifting apart in these stretched, wordless moments? A few days later, in the dim kitchen, I sit across from Maya, the late afternoon light slanting through the blinds like hesitant fingers. She's hunched over her sketchbook, pencil scratching faint lines, a habit she picked up last summer when the air between us still felt light. Remember that trip to the lake? I say, my voice threading the quiet like a needle. Nostalgia blooms first, warm and deceptive, pulling me back to those early days with Ethan, before the fracture, before him. Maya glances up, her eyes sharp but unguarded, the way they used to be. Yeah, Mom. The one where Dad tried fishing and caught his shoe instead. She smiles, small and fleeting, and I latch onto it, letting the memory unspool. We were whole then, or pretended to be. Picnics by the water, Ethan's laugh echoing off the trees, Maya's tiny hands clutching wildflowers. I describe the sun on the waves, the way the world seemed to pause, generous and unhurried. Each word feels like a brushstroke, painting the past vivid. But beneath it, my pulse quickens. One slip, one too honest detail about how I wandered off alone that day, seeking something I couldn't name, and the secret tumbles out. The broken clock on the wall ticks unevenly, its hands frozen at 3:17, the exact hour the affair ignited 2 years ago. I stare at it, the glass face smudged, as if time itself recoiled. It was a gift from Ethan, meant to mark our anniversaries, but now it mocks me, stuck in that stolen moment. Nostalgia curdles into something heavier, a weight pressing my chest. Why does recalling that innocence only sharpen the despair? The lies I've woven since, smiles at dinner, excuses for late nights, feel like chains, each link forged in silence. Maya tilts her head, watching me. You okay? You look far away. Her voice pulls me back, but the distance yawns wider. A chasm between who we were and this fragile now. I nod, swallowing the urge to bridge it, to say how that day's ease shattered everything. Can I rewind to the lake, to before the fall, and stop it all? The question hangs unspoken, thickening the air as the clock's silence screams. That same week, I watch Ethan from the kitchen doorway, his back rigid as he rifles through the junk drawer in the den. The late afternoon light slants through the blinds, casting stripes across his knuckles, white from gripping something small. My heart stutters. Another ordinary moment teetering on the edge. He pulls out a crumpled receipt, untwisting it slowly, like unwrapping a wound. It's from that cafe on the edge of town, the one with the harbor view, dated months ago. The kind of place lovers linger, not wives hiding. Evelyn? His voice is even, but it slices the air. He holds it up, the paper warped in his fist, ink smudged where my thumb must have pressed too hard that day. This yours? Coffee for 2, but I don't remember us there. Anxiety coils in my chest, a familiar serpent tightening. I step closer, forcing a smile that's all edges. Must be from errands. Maya needed something, maybe. The lie tastes like ash, but I swallow it. He studies the receipt, twisting it again, the paper crinkling like dry leaves underfoot. His eyes flick to mine, searching, doubting, before he folds it away. Yeah, probably. But the room feels smaller, the air thicker, as if the walls are leaning in. Later, Lena corners me in the backyard, her arms crossed like a barrier I can't cross. The sun dips low, painting her face in shadows that mirror my own fractures. Eve, this silence of yours, it's not saving anyone. Ethan's unraveling, thread by thread. I see it. You think hiding it protects them? It's just burying the blade deeper. Panic surges, hot and sharp, flooding my veins. My hands tremble as I clutch the porch rail, the world blurring at the edges. She's right. The weight of it pressing down. The unanswered voicemails piling up in my phone, the broken clock in the hall frozen at 3:17. That afternoon, everything splintered. But if I speak now, the facade shatters. Ethan paces inside, receipt burning a hole in his pocket. Maya texts about dinner, oblivious. Lena's gaze bores into me, demanding what I can't give. The twisted receipt haunts me as I retreat indoors, its creases like veins pulsing with accusation. How long can this quiet hold against the evidence clawing its way out? The next morning, I watch Maya from the kitchen doorway, her back to me as she hunches over her phone at the breakfast table. The motion is so casual, so final, like shutting a door I never knew was ajar between us. My breath catches, and the guilt sharpens into something colder. Alienation, acute and piercing, as if she's slipping through my fingers right here in our own home. How many times have I done this to her? Left my own calls unanswered in the quiet of my heart, dodging the honesty that might pull us closer. Ethan's suspicion simmers elsewhere, that damn receipt burning a hole in his drawer. But with Maya, it's this. The voicemails piling up like unsent apologies, each one a missed chance. She sets the phone down, oblivious to my gaze, and sips her coffee, staring out the window at the suburban street where everything looks so perfectly still. Lena's words echo in my head. Her last text, blunt as ever. The truth isn't going away, Ev. It's rotting you from the inside. She's the only one who sees me clearly now. A mirror I can't shatter. But Maya, my daughter, intuitive as a storm cloud gathering, she feels the distance without knowing why. Trust erodes in these silences, doesn't it? Each ignored ping a fracture, pushing us toward the edge where everything might spill. I turn away before she notices, my hands trembling as I grip the doorframe. The voicemail sits there, unanswered. A silent scream in the ether. What if these missed signals are the last ones she'll send? That afternoon, I stand before the mirror in the upstairs hallway, the one that's hung here since we moved in 15 years ago. Its silver frame dulled by time, exhaling a faint, musty breath like forgotten linens in an attic. The glass is cool under my fingertips as I trace the edge. But it's the face staring back that stops me cold. Not mine, not really. It's Maya's eyes I see in the hollows beneath them. Her sharp gaze judging the woman who's become a ghost in her own home. Anxiety coils in my chest, tight as the knot I've tied around my secret for months. The lines on my forehead deepen with every unspoken word, etching deeper than the affair ever could. I lean closer, breath fogging the surface, and there she is. Me, through her lens. Exhausted, eyes darting like a cornered animal. Remote as the unanswered voicemails piling up on her phone. How many times has she caught me like this? Fleeing my own reflection, pretending the family's fine. The hypocrisy burns. I've played the perfect wife, the steady mother, while the truth festers inside. A poison I swallow daily to spare them pain. But sparing them? It's killing us all. This silence sharpening every crease, every shadow. My hands tremble as I smooth my hair, but the gesture feels futile, a mask cracking. What if I spoke? The fear surges. Rejection, the shatter of everything. But beneath it, something stirs. A resolve hardening like frost on the window pane. I can't let silence claim another day, another glance from Maya that widens the chasm. In the mirror's dim glow, her imagined disappointment flickers, urging me forward. Not to confess, not yet. But to stop hiding. To face this fractured self and bridge the gap, no matter the ache. The musty scent clings as I step back, heart pounding with the weight of it all. Can I turn this dread into the first real step? The question lingers, unanswered, as the house creaks around me. In the evening, I watch Maya from the hallway, her door ajar just enough to frame the scene like a cracked window into her world. She's on her bed, phone in one hand, the other gesturing wildly as if arguing with an invisible shadow. Her voice, usually so measured, rises in sharp bursts, echoes of words I've never let loose, but have felt clawing at my throat for months. You never say anything. Just sit there, pretending everything's fine. She snaps at the empty air, her face twisting into a mask of frustration I've seen in the mirror too many times. She pauses, then mimics a low, evasive murmur. Ethan's steady tone, the one that smooths over cracks without ever filling them. It's nothing, really. Don't worry. Her imitation is cruelly accurate. Born from stolen glimpses of our tepid dinners, the pauses that stretch like rubber bands about to snap. My chest tightens, a cold wave of concern flooding in. She's not just venting. She's rehearsing us, turning our silence into her script for the future. How many times has she absorbed the hush after Ethan's questions hang unanswered? Or the way I deflect with a smile? It's seeping into her, this poison I thought I was containing. I lean against the wall, breath shallow as she slumps back, the fight draining from her posture into that same defeated quiet we all share. On the dresser across from her bed, our family portrait catches the late afternoon light. Smiles faded at the edges, colors bleeding into gray, like memories left too long in the sun. It stares back at me, accusing. The unity we posed for now a fragile lie. Maya's eyes in the photo mirror, the ones she just closed, weary before her time. The concern coils tighter, but something shifts, a spark of resolve igniting in the ache. I can't let this be her model, this cycle of swallowed words breeding isolation. Not her. I straighten, hand hovering near the doorframe, the urge to step in, warring with the fear. But watching her now, I know. Silence isn't shielding her. It's scripting her pain. I have to find a way to break it before she believes this is love. That night, the desk lamp casts a frail glow over the cluttered study, shadows pooling like spilled ink on the hardwood floor. My hand hovers above the half-formed letter, pen trembling as if it knows the weight it carries. Ethan and Maya sleep upstairs, their breaths a distant rhythm through the walls, oblivious to this midnight vigil. Tomorrow, I will speak. Or I won't. The words clot in my throat, a tangle of fear and fragile hope. I start again, the paper whispering under my fingers. Ethan, there's something I've hidden from you. From us. The sentence trails off, unfinished, like so many before it. My heart races, a frantic drumbeat echoing the dread of what confession might unleash. His face crumpling, Maya's eyes hardening into accusation, the family portrait shattering into irreparable shards. What if my truth rips us apart, leaves Maya adrift in the wreckage I've wrought? The fear coils tighter, squeezing my chest until I can barely breathe. Silence has been my shield, hasn't it? Protecting them from the ugliness of my betrayal, from the man whose touch I still feel like a ghost on my skin. But tonight, in this hushed room, the quiet feels like a noose. I glance at the stack of letters beside me. Abandoned drafts, words scrawled and crossed out, each one a near miss at release. One to Ethan, pleading for understanding. Another to Maya, begging her not to hate the mother she's always known. They lie there, incomplete sentinels, mocking my hesitation. If I don't say it tomorrow, over breakfast or in the car, will these pages ever see light? Or will I crumple them away, letting the affair's shadow fester longer, poisoning the air we share? A sob catches in my throat, but I push on, inking the next line. I did this because I was lost, but hiding it has lost me more. As the words flow, halting at first, then steadier, something shifts. The anxiety ebbs, not gone, but loosening its grip, replaced by a tentative warmth, a whisper of relief in finally naming the secret, even on paper. It's not absolution, not yet, but it's motion, toward them, toward me. I set the pen down, staring at the page. The clock ticks softly, the broken one in the hall frozen at that fateful hour. Will these words break free tomorrow? Or will silence swallow me whole again? The next morning, the words claw their way out before I can stop them, spilling into the dim living room like shards of glass. I had an affair, I say, my voice cracking the air that's been thick with our unspoken pact for months. Ethan freezes mid-sip of his coffee, the mug hovering like a weapon. Maya, curled on the couch with her phone, looks up, eyes wide as saucers, the screen forgotten in her lap. Panic surges through me, a tidal wave crashing against my ribs, heart pounding, breath shallow, every nerve screaming to swallow it back. But I don't. It started last spring, meetings in the city, hotel rooms. I couldn't stop. The confession hangs there, raw and bleeding, my hands trembling as I grip the armrest. Relief flickers at the edges, faint but insistent, like light-piercing fog. Ethan's face twists, coffee spilling as he slams the mug down. What the hell, Evelyn? Meetings? You mean screwing around while we planned family trips? His voice rises, a roar that shakes the walls, veins bulging in his neck. He stands, chair scraping like a wound opening. How long? God, how many times? Maya's confusion blooms into something sharper, tears welling as she uncurls, knees to chest. Mom? Dad? This can't be real. Her voice is small, breaking, but it slices deeper than any shout. She glances between us, lost in the storm we've unleashed. I meet Ethan's fury, then Maya's bewilderment, the weight of it all pressing down. I'm sorry. I was lost, drowning in silence, and it felt like escape. But it wasn't. It was cowardice. Tears stream now, hot and unrelenting, mixing with the sobs I can't hold back. Ethan paces, fists clenched, his rage a whirlwind that sucks the air from the room. Maya rocks slightly, whispering, "Why? We were right here." In the chaos, my eyes catch the broken clock on the mantel, hands stuck at 3:17, the exact hour of that first stolen kiss. Time frozen since the lie began. It mocks us now, ticking silently in the wreckage. Ethan stops, shoulders heaving, and sinks onto the coffee table, head in hands. Everything. It's all been a lie. His voice cracks, anger fracturing into grief. Maya reaches out, tentative, her fingers brushing my knee. Not forgiveness, but a tether. We sit there, breaths ragged, the silence reborn but different. No longer a cage, but a space cracked open. The old hush is shattered, echoes of cries lingering. Can we rebuild from these ruins? Or has the truth toppled us for good? In the immediate aftermath, the air in the living room hangs thick, a post-storm hush after the thunder of my confession cracked open our world. Shards of it litter the floor. Ethan's overturned coffee mug, its dark stain blooming like a bruise on the rug. Maya's phone, screen still glowing with an unanswered text from a friend, oblivious to our unraveling. My heart hammers in my chest, panic a wild thing clawing at my ribs, urging me to bolt from this wreckage I've wrought. But I don't. I can't. Not anymore. I move slowly, knees protesting as I kneel to gather the pieces. The mug's handle is chipped, fitting in my palm like a fragile secret. Ethan sits on the edge of the couch, elbows on knees, staring at the floor as if it might swallow the betrayal whole. His shoulders hunch, not in rage. I've braced for that. But in a stunned quiet that mirrors my own terror. Maya hovers by the window, arms crossed tight over her chest, her eyes darting between us like a cornered animal. No accusations fly. We've all unspoken that pact. No denials to hurl like shields. Just this raw, breathing space where the truth we've skirted for months finally breathes too. As I wipe the stain with a dishcloth, my gaze drifts to the family portrait on the mantel. We posed for it 2 summers ago, smiles wide and painted on, the sun filtering through the park leaves to gild our edges. Now, in the dim afternoon light, those smiles have faded, edges blurring like watercolor left in the rain. Ethan's jawline softens unnaturally. Maya's eyes, once bright, seem shadowed, as if the photographer caught a flicker of the tension we'd already buried. The frame tilts slightly, knocked askew in the chaos, a quiet testament to how our unity has warped. I touch the glass, cool under my fingertips, and feel the panic ebb replaced by a slow, aching clarity. This image, once our facade, is cracked now. But perhaps that's the point. The truth I spilled wasn't a bomb to end us. It's the splinter in the frame, forcing us to see the fractures we've ignored. Ethan shifts, his hand brushing mine as he reaches for a napkin. No words, just that brief contact, warm and tentative. Maya uncrosses her arms, steps closer, her reflection in the window overlapping the portraits. We stand there, 3 silhouettes against the fading smiles, the silence shifting. Not the suffocating kind that hid my lies, but one laced with possibility. Can this honesty bridge the gaps we've let widen? The question lingers, unanswered. As I set the mug upright, the house settling into a new, unsteady rhythm.